The Hoffman Show on the Team 980, always live as well on the free Odyssey app, and it's our pleasure to welcome back to the show Wizards forward Kyle Kuzma. Kuz, appreciate your time, man. I know it's been a busy couple of days. Obviously, a fantastic win, big game for you last night on the court. But you had a really cool program that you did and were a part of back in your hometown of Flint earlier this week. How did you get involved in the I.G.N.I.T.E program, and what is it for folks that are unfamiliar?
I'm really big into helping people and change, and I think jail reform is something that's, not really looked at enough, and just having a relationship back home with the sheriff of our county for many years. Obviously, this is something that they do pretty well. They do pretty big, and it's just something that's really important to me. So it's great.
So I was reading some of the statistics on it, and what it is for those folks that don't know, is it provides education for folks who are in prison, and it some of the stuff it's done includes taking down violence in the prisons. How did this get on your radar in the first place, and was there anything in particular about the program that really caught your eye and was oh, this is where I want to spend my time?
I think one of the bigger things is, like I said, not being talked about is jail reform. A lot of these people, they go to jail and they are, waiting for sentencing. They may be in mild to moderate charges, and the ideology of what a county jail or jail should be is, this is your wake up call. And I think what they do is they give privileges based off of performance and rewards. So, there's people that are trying to get their GED, learn skills, trades. And, I think that's a better way to approach mass incarceration, because a lot of these people, they have fourth and fifth grade reading levels and don't know math. You know what I mean? So, a lot of these things, stems from, just our educational system, which is flawed. So,
yeah, absolutely, and that's a whole separate. Connected, but so not really whole separate, but a different issue that obviously a lot of folks are working on. Kyle Kuzma is with us here on the Hoffman Show, and then you also had a Thanksgiving event back here in DC, right? If I'm remembering correctly, last week.
Yeah. We provided meals for, I think, 700 to 800 plus families. Obviously coinciding with the Wiz to help out and assist us within that and to partner with them, and it's been a very giving couple of weeks. So
yeah, definitely. So I'm curious, the kind of question I would have for you is if you think back to what you were like as a kid and the dreams that you had, because obviously you probably had plenty of dreams. Like last night, you're playing back in your hometown, you drop 32 points, 12 boards, you get a win. That's great. But to be able to say yeah, last week we fed 700-800 families. When you think of young Kyle growing up in Michigan, what is kind of emotions does that invoke?
I think it's just a blessing, being very grateful and being able to do these things at a high level and help people. You never really think about it as a kid, but it's a blessing. So.
All right, Kyle Kuzma is with us here on the Hoffman Show. So obviously it has been a tough year on the floor for you guys, but you do get the big win last night. I'm curious for you personally, Kyle, you knew when you re-signed here that there was probably going to be some rebuilding, there was going to be some tough nights, but how was this year compared to what you thought it was going to be coming into it?
A little more than expected. I think that, if you watch the basketball games, you can kind of see that too, because I think we're a little bit better than what our record is, first and foremost, just because, we've blown multiple leads this year. We tricked off some games. Probably feel just a little bit better, if we didn't do those type of things. But, and I understand what I signed up for, and obviously, it goes beyond all that, because at the end of the day, resigning, if you look back at, the things that I said I wanted to continue to develop. And I think, that was a big emphasis as well for me resigning here. So, I think I can do that every single night, and the wins will come. As rebuild is on its way. So, Dawkins and Wingo, like they're phenomenal at what they do. And they know what they're doing. So, it's not as bad. So.
Yeah, no, totally. I'm curious, like for fans watching when they watch the games, if they want to say like, okay, well, we hear you and we're willing to stick with you, but we want to know what we should be watching for from a development standpoint. Like, what are some of those things for you that you're really focused on that, hey, you may make mistakes because you're doing them for the first time in a newer, bigger role, but that hopefully the next time that situation comes around, you nail it in a bigger and better way.
Well, if people watching, I think, just my overall, game has changed over the past 3 years being here. Getting better and better every single week, every single month, every year. It's been extremely important to me. I think one thing that I've done pretty well this year is just playmaking, finding open guys. Because you get to a point in your basketball career, especially when you're one of the guys on the team where you're kind of not really playing the same game as everybody, and that's more so of like, you're playing the game between the game, and you're playing against other people scouting you and other people game planning for you, and learning how other people guard you, and then learning counters for that. There's a lot that goes into it, so.
Yeah, no, I think that's great perspective. Kyle Kuzma is with us here on the Hoffman Show. All right, last couple of things. Last time we visited, you and Denny had a nice little spat about this is a media day about the music in the locker room, in the weight room. And Kyle, if you guys can hear in the background, is joining us from the team bus. Who is currently on the aux on the team bus in the background there?
We got AG on the aux right now.
Okay.
Playing some R&B style music. So.
Yeah, it's got a nice like vibe in the background. It doesn't always exactly translate through to the phone great, but like I can tell that there is a certain mood on the bus right now. And then
we have good vibes. So
yeah, which is always good. And then last but not least, Kyle, it is the holiday season, and I like to sneak a fashion question in or two. So my question for you to wrap up here in the holiday season is: what is the most fashionable gift that you have given, and what is the most fashionable gift that you have received?
Fashionable gift. Fashionable. I think I got a piano for Christmas 2 years ago. That's pretty fashionable.
That will change the nature of a room.
From aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would probably say that. And then, I'm a good gift giver. I buy my girlfriend a lot of nice things. So
okay.
I would say, yeah.
Different fashion items. Can you play? Like, is the piano purely aesthetics, or do you play a little bit?
I play it from time to time when I'm bored. I got an instructor. I like people coming over to the house and playing it for me.
Okay.
Listening to music, so it all depends.
Okay, all right. That'd be a fun off-season project. Just get there on the piano.
For sure.
Kyle, we appreciate the time. Amazing stuff you did back home in Flint over the weekend. Congrats on the success with that and with the event last week. Congrats, by the way, on a great game last night as well. And we'll talk to you a little bit later in the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is The Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.